here's Brody Brazil.
You've clicked on this video where I'm about to break down Tom Brady's work as an NFL broadcaster so far. And it's important that I declare it like that because this video is not about Brady's former job as an NFL quarterback and whatever he did or didn't do against your favorite team over the years as an opponent. This video is also not about Tom Brady, the human being. I realize he's got a personal life. He's been in the spotlight for several decades, but this video is about none of that. It's only about Brady with a microphone in his hand or a headset on his head calling NFL games for Fox, which he's done now officially for the last 5 weeks. And I'm also choosing the timing of that pretty carefully because he's got a few reps under his belt. It's not just the week one jitters. It's not just after week one, but it's also not a full season. And I also got to watch my first full Tom Brady broadcasted game this past weekend when the Arizona Cardinals beat the 49ers at Levi's Stadium. So it was the first time I really got to take more than just bits and pieces and red zone stuff. I got to watch the entire broadcast and really form some of these opinions start to finish. Let's begin with this, and let's just declare this from the very start. Tom Brady might carry the highest expectations ever of any NFL rookie broadcaster due to his profile, his track record, and his background as a Hall of Fame caliber player. And not just that, they have put him on like the A1 team with Kevin Burkhardt. They're not edging him in. They gave him a 10-year contract, $300 and something million. Like, they're putting him in as the starting quarterback, starting analyst on their number one squad. But all of this established, right? Like, he's got the accolades as a player. People know him from the profile and the personality. All of that established. He's never done broadcasting before. I don't want to say that Brady's starting from scratch. Like, that's not it, because he knows the game and the league and its players inside and out as well as anybody. But it's almost like asking a quarterback to go play cornerback and be good at it at the highest level from the very start. Like, playing the game and broadcasting the game at high levels are two different things. And that's why I wanted to ask some followers on X, what are your impressions in the first 5 weeks of Tom Brady? And here's what the results were. 700 votes. Take this with a grain of salt. 5% said great already. 34% said good enough. And to be quite honest, if I was voting, that's probably the category I would be in here too. But 61% said work in progress. And so I kind of wanted to focus on that 61% and maybe speak towards that, what I'm seeing in Brady, how he's starting, how he's establishing. And there are some good things, no doubt about it. But yeah, there probably is some room for growth. Here are my first impressions on Tom Brady as a broadcaster. He's got all the right tools to operate at a very high level for a very long time in the booth. You can already tell he's cut out for this. He's got the presentation. And I don't know how else to say this. The voice, the look, he speaks well, he's got good cadence. I wish I looked like Tom Brady. Yeah, so that is part of it. It's a visual medium. He is presenting something to an audience, so he's got that. But he's also got the determination. And somebody who studied game film and probably went back over all of his games with the offensive coordinator and coaches, he's probably doing just that with every single broadcast that he does on Sundays. And that's the best thing you can absolutely do. Watch that broadcast just like it's game tape. Did I jump in there at the right time? How was the timing of this? What I said there, could it be better? Or was that perfect? Is there any different way to do this? I'm telling you, broadcasting is a lot like playing the game. You go back and watch the tape, you learn a lot, and you get better for the next time around. And obviously, the knowledge is second to none. Now, translating that knowledge, getting that knowledge into more of the presentation, I think is what he'll probably try and grow and get better at. But the point is, he's got all the tools. It's just figuring out how to use them most effectively. I also think a first impression is that he's taking this seriously, and he's also already shaken off the initial jitters. I did watch some of his very first broadcast, 5 weeks ago now, and it just seemed like there were some nerves. And I know the feeling. I know all the things that lead to a nervous presentation. Speaking quickly, a little bit of a higher pitched voice because you're talking so fast and all your muscles inside are tense. Sorry. But yeah, you can kind of get a little bit of that understood with Tom Brady, that he's done the most amazing things on a football field as a quarterback, high pressure situations, but he was accustomed to that. And so jumping into a brand new situation, of course there would be butterflies. Of course there would be jitters. But I'm sensing that in week 5, the broadcast I just watched, I didn't see much of that. So the next thing for Tom Brady is just like playing the game. It's slowing it down to understand when to make your points, what point to make here, to have your brain be 3 steps ahead of the game and the plays you're watching and what you want to say and what you're predicting so that you can make it even that much more comprehensive and smooth and polished when it does come out. I would say if there is a critique, and again, this is me critiquing Tom Brady, but then again, I've been broadcasting for as many decades as Tom Brady's been playing football. So, Tom, I would trust you to teach me how to be a quarterback. Trust me a little bit to make some of these points about you as a broadcaster. It seems like so far he's been playing it a little bit safe. He's been a little bit generic on player compliments. Oh, that's a good player. That's a fast player. I saw he was describing somebody. He's like, how fast is he? He's fast. Okay, you can give us a little bit more there. I would also ask for some more play descriptions. If you want to go in the weeds on huddle terminology, on offensive coordinator, coaching room technology, terminology, if you want to go in those places, I don't think your audience is going to mind it. Your fans are searching for that, oh yeah, type commentary. I don't think fans always want the simple approach to confirm what they just saw. I like Chris Collinsworth. I think he does a very good job of broadcasting the game, but also teaching the game and throwing some insights in there. And he's been doing this for a very long time at a high level on some of the biggest broadcasts with the best producers and the best replays and all that stuff. But what fans are ultimately searching for at this high level is, oh yeah, they want something that they weren't thinking about that Tom Brady can add to the experience. Instead of confirming what fans can already see, I mean, that's nice once in a while. Take it another step further. Add what they're not watching and bring that to the table, bring that to the forefront of their minds. I think partners and producers that are working with Brady are imperative to his growth and how quickly that goes. And Kevin Burkhardt called the game on Fox that I watched this past weekend. I think Berkey's great, has been doing a great job on baseball coverage for a lot of years. I like his call of NFL games. And so having somebody that's experienced like Kevin Burkhardt is going to be really good for Tom Brady. And it's not like they would put Brady with another young up-and-comer who's just kind of learning the ropes. So Brady's in a good spot there with his partner, but also the producers, right? If this really is the A1 game crew for Fox, you would hope that before the broadcast, they set him up the right way. During the broadcast, they're in his ear. They're talking to him. They're helping him as best they can, but they're also staying away when they need to so he can clearly get the thoughts out. And then after the game, let's go over this. Let's recap it. Let's look at the tape and the film and see what it says. Consistency and trust in this area will be key for Tom Brady. Keep him with the same people. Don't have 20 different people offering him advice. Give him a small circle. Let him work with that small circle. It's just like a team. You don't want to keep changing your wide receivers or your tight end. Get some consistency with that good team and see what you can build. Now, I'm also wondering what Brady's access is right now to teams and players and coaches, because we did hear, about a month ago, that if he does take on any kind of small ownership of the Las Vegas Raiders, that the league is basically going to ban him from team facilities. Because why would you allow an owner of the Raiders to walk into any other team's headquarters and talk to their GM, their coordinators, their head coach, their players? The league is that secretive. And even though Brady would be doing it for the broadcast, they just don't want to have those wires cross. And I guess I understand that. So I'm curious, Brady obviously can just watch a game and see a bunch of things and talk to people off to the side. But if he's not officially invited to team facilities, and those nuggets that you get, the preparation that you get, the interviews you get with the team staff and personnel ahead of the broadcast, that is your gold through the broadcast, because you're calling different games every week. And if you really want to specialize on these two teams, man, the opportunity you get to talk to all of their people separately on the inside, if they're not allowing that to Tom Brady, it is eventually going to hinder his work. The point is, he can still be really good, but being great requires having that knowledge, having those insights. I also like the other day, and I think he circled Marvin Harrison Jr. before Kyler Murray did target him. I don't think Harrison Jr. made the catch, but he started to use the pre-snap telestration kind of as a predictive method, circle this, watch this on the screen. and he didn't even say anything. And I think that's a great method of showcasing what to watch in a coming play. Usually the telestrator, like drawing on the screen, like I do here on this channel a bunch, usually that's used for a replay and showing you something after the fact to help describe it. But if he can circle things and show you things as they're about to happen, like that's what everybody loves about Tony Romo, is that he's so predictive in the booth because of what he saw as a quarterback. He can tell you basically what's coming, or at least what to watch out for. This is the quarterback gold that broadcasts need, right? And it's the reason that Romo is so loved and appreciated as a broadcaster, is because he's like 3 steps ahead of everybody. And Brady can, and Brady probably will get there. But it's about being more comfortable, a little bit more, I don't know, taking some risks, right? Taking some throws downfield, taking some shots, and seeing what you get in these broadcasts, because he's obviously got the background and the resume to do it. I also love, separately, beyond the broadcast, I love the fact that he's doing some home studio insights and appearances midweek between games. I think this is an essential part of any broadcaster. And I found the LFG Player of the Game interesting. Like, how do you explain to an 8-year-old, hey, what does LFG stand for? Let's frickin' go. You know, that's what it is, son. It's not a bad idea that Brady chooses one player per game that he broadcasts and says, you're my player of the game. And then he interviews that player afterwards. The interviews, like, it's weird because if you put Brady and Kyler Murray together without the cameras, they'd probably have a really insightful conversation and everybody would love to see it. But the second there's a headset on and cameras and lights and a bunch of people watching and listening, it becomes a little bit more stiff and a little bit more sterile. So I think Brady, if he can untap the casual aspect that I know he would have, and like Kyler Murray's thinking, Tom Brady's talking to me right now. And I'm sure Kyler Murray thinks highly of himself, but like, I will give this interview, I will give the best interview I can to Tom Brady because it's Tom Brady. So Brady's got that going for him. Just kind of needs to loosen up a little bit in maybe the questions and the topics and all that stuff. And that brings me to this. Ultimately for Tom Brady, 2 things are going to happen. Time and repetition, they're going to bring comfort and excellence. Look at the Fox Studio show. Most of those guys have been there for 5, 7, 12. Has anybody been there 20 years? It feels like it. Maybe Terry Bradshaw has. But the point is, this group has been together for so long. They've got so much time together and so much repetition individually and collectively. That's why their studio show is so amazing. It's got comfort. It's excellent because they've been doing it for a long time. They had all the tools, just like Tom Brady has all the tools. They just need to use it for a sustained period of time. So if we're evaluating Tom Brady after 5 weeks of being a broadcaster, let's rewind to week 5 of his NFL playing career. Did you know that Tom Brady was going to become what Tom Brady became? And the answer is no. How could you have known that? You saw the right things, right? Which is kind of what we're seeing here. But it needs to grow and it needs to develop in the right way and it needs time. So that's kind of my overall take on this. He's fine for now. I realize some people may not even agree with that, or they have different criticisms, but let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Did I nail some of this? Am I totally right on something or wrong on something? I'd love to hear it down in the comments section. Also, thumbs up on this video here since you made it to the end. I really appreciate that. The thumbs up will greatly help me and this video and this channel, and I would love it if you just take one quick second before this ends, go down there also below and make sure you are subscribed to this channel. That way I definitely get to see you back here next time.